Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Debbie Danford from craftiercreations.blogspot.com. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody had an awesome 3-day weekend. If you had a 3-day weekend, I spent my 3-day weekend very busy hanging out with the grandkids and just getting a lot of projects done around the house. Wasn't quite what I had on my plan because I had other things I felt like I really wanted to get done, but it's okay. It was a great weekend with the grandkids. Anyway, so today, what am I working on today? So I thought this week we would focus on the Gathering Moments bundle. And the reason I was focusing on this bundle was because it's the bundle I'm using in my catalog kickoff coming up in 2 weeks. And if you live local, you can come join me in person. If you still want to get it, you can get the to-go option along with it. Anyway, I pulled in, I say I'm using the Gathering Moments. I'm not using this stamp set today. I'm going to show you what I did. I really concentrated on the designer series paper for what we're doing today. And it's called, I don't remember, Gathering something. I can't even remember what the paper is called, but I will pull out, because it's an online exclusive product, and all of this stuff goes live tomorrow. The paper is called the Gathering Together Designer Series paper. It's a 12 by 12 pack. And it comes, I've just fallen in love with this paper. It comes with some great patterns and sheets. So here you see, and I don't have full sheets left of everything because I have used so much of it. And then we have a nice green striped with the gold, and then just a brown background here. So a lot of the sheets have that gold highlights in it, which I love. And then we have this one in the Early Espresso and the Cajun Craze, basic beige. We have basic beige with crushed curry. This one is another one of my favorites. Just some gold and like basic beige and white in there. Oh, I guess I should be showing you backsides. There's the backside of that one. This is the backside of this one. A nice pattern there. And then we have another leaf one with basic beige and then the basic beige and white on the back. So there's the paper. Now, what I did, and if you notice here, I have a whole bunch of words cut out, and then I have some other layering pieces cut out, and I'm going to show you what I did. I used the More Messages die and stamp set. So you stamp this on a larger piece of basic white. Don't cut it too small because you want to make sure that the die fits on it. I made that mistake. That's why I'm giving you my tip. So if you want to cut your piece down, you know, put the die on the piece of paper. And let's see, I would say go like 4 3/4, and I just go by 6. Could you cut it down a little bit smaller? Yes, you probably could. But 4 3/4 by 6 is a good size. That way you won't, because the first time I did it, I went too close, and then the dies didn't fit all the way on the side. So you have to be careful with that. I stamped all of these in Early Espresso on basic white. And then what I did is just die cut the same shapes out of a piece of Early Espresso so that I could cut them apart and use them as layering pieces. But this set, if you don't have this little bundle here, the More Messages dies, I'd say you need to add that to your collection just because you have so many different phrases, and you could stamp these in so many different color combinations. The sky's the limit, really. And then the other set I used, and when you come to the in-person class, you will get to stamp one of these and do the other die cutting ones that I'm going to show you too. So then the other set I pulled in was the Thoughtful Moments Hybrid Embossing Folder and Die Cut. So this one has, let's see if I have a piece of paper that'll be dark enough for you to see on here. And mine's a little warped. I had it in my machine so it could flatten it. Thank you. Oh, happy day. Thinking of you. Love you. Hello. You make me happy with sympathy. Celebrate just because and get well. Now, what you do on this is you take your ink pad, ink up the Stampin' Up! Logo side, ink up this side, put the die in, put your paper down, close it up, run it through, and then you get all of these die cuts that have that early espresso highlight with them. Okay, so that's what I did. I did both of those when I started making some of these cards because I thought, well, then I'll just have kind of words laying out here and I can decide what I want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on simple layout. It's so simple, you're going to be like, wow, why didn't I think of that? Okay, so let's bring in our card bases, and we're going to go ahead and make these same 3 cards. Like I said, very simple, and I don't know what words I'm going to use. I'm just going to kind of pick as I go and see what we have. So what you want, let's do our first one here. This card right here. You want, oh, I guess I had one cut. Oh, wrong color. Messing up here. A 3 by 5 1/4. So I have to trim this down. It's a little too long because I didn't trim it down yet. So you want 3 by 5 1/4. Hang on, I might have one already cut here. 3, yes, I do. So let's take that one away. 3 by 5 1/4. And then all I did is I cut 3/4 off. Now, you could go an inch. You could cut this bigger. There is no right or wrong. It's however you want to do it. And then you're just going to flip that over, and that's going to be our main focal point on the front of the card. Okay? So then I embossed this. So the Gathering Moments suite comes with this, I think my camera is a little crooked here. Sorry about that. This comes with the a leaf embossing folder. So I embossed the background on it just a little bit, and it kind of matches this here. Whoops, wrong one. Let's go this one. And then what we're going to do is attach these right here. Just like that. Okay, that's kind of for our inside piece. That's why I have a scrap there. And I'm just going to use mono glue to make it quick and easy. Maybe. If I can get the glue to come out. Oh, I may have to get a new one. Isn't that how it always works? You run out of adhesive. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's put this one down about right like that. And then we're going to attach this one. And you could flip it the other way. Like if you wanted this to be a little more of the focal, depending on the pattern, you could go that way. But I kind of liked it just like this. Okay, so there's those two. Then what I'm going to do, and I did forget to fill up my adhesive, so I have to grab a refill here really quick because I forgot about it. I ran out the other day and then got sidetracked, but these are easy peasy to refill. Okay, so pop that in there. And I cleaned my case actually the other day. That's why I think I didn't get it refilled. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add adhesive here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way around at this point. I mean, we're going to need it on here anyway. But I am going to add a piece of, so in this suite, you get 2 rolls of linen thread, Old Olive and Early Espresso. So what I decided to do is just to break up this little tiny seam here, is I just added one little tiny strip of the Early Espresso right there. Nothing fancy, quite simple to do. I mean, you could add a strip of paper there if you wanted. And then we're going to add this to our basic white, thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5 and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 because I forgot to score these. And then this is going to go on just, well, shoot. What I also want to do, so I'm not going to lay that down quite yet. I want to cut this piece so I know exactly. I mean, I could cut it without, but sometimes it's just nice to just measure it from right here. And then I'm just going to flip this over. Well, maybe I'm going to do all this. I seem to be fumbling with my fingers today. Here, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat so I can lay this down. This is a great thing to have in your craft room because sticky things don't stick to it. So we can lift it up a little bit easier. So I'm just going to take a little bit of mono glue here. And I'm just going to put this right like that. Okay, we'll glue that down. Going to flip this over. Cut that off. And I'm going to throw that little piece away. Now I can attach this to my card front. Okay, that's going to go there. Then let's see what I have. Oh, I have thanks a lot. I think I'm just going to pop up thanks a lot. I think that's a good one. I was almost going to cut more of these because I kind of used all my favorite words, I guess you could say. But then I thought, well, there's still some good ones left, so I didn't worry too much about it. Okay, let's pop up the backs of the dimensionals, and we're just going to pop this up just a little bit. And I'm going to put it right there. And then we're going to bring in, and this is also part of this suite. These are Cajun Craze. What do they call it? Cajun Craze and gold dots. So there's like a mix in here of a little bit of gold with the Cajun Craze. And let's put some of these just like that. And then on the inside, we're just going to put this strip right here. Actually, that's upside down. To decide which one do we want to do, or do we want to cut it? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut the length here. I think I have that straight, hopefully. And I'm thinking about cutting this down. And then we'll put one little strip one side and one little, and then the other strip the other side, just kind of like the front of the card. So we're going to kind of do it just like this, just like we did on the front, so it will coordinate. All right. So let's go ahead and add some glue here. And you can take it right to the score line if you want. You can leave a little bit of a gap. It's all up to you. And then this one will go just like this. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it over and burnish. Here's my original. Here's the one we just did. Isn't it easy peasy simple? But what a pretty card, right? All right, let's make another one. Let's do this one. So this one we need this, and we need the Early Espresso card base. So let's go ahead and score this because clearly excuse me, I forgot to score them all when I started. And then we're going to do the same thing. We are going to cut this piece. I think it's already 3 inches, but we're just a little too long. So let me check here. Yeah, we're at 3 inches. So we want it to be 5 1/4 long. So let's cut this at 5 1/4. And then again, we're going to cut this 3/4 of an inch off. Okay. And there we have that. All right, so now let's go ahead and attach these. I kind of like to lay them out just so I know where so I don't get like too far over on one side and not far enough on the other side, that kind of thing. So I kind of do a little bit of a layout, not major, but okay. And then we'll put, now this side here could easily be stamped on, which I did do on a card that we'll be making in a couple of weeks. Okay, so there's that piece. And then let's go ahead and do this side. And that one goes right there, just like that. I butt them up to each other. And again, we're gonna add some adhesive back here because we are going to add a piece of Early Espresso the same way we did before. I just think that adds just a little bit of accent right here down that seam. Do you have to do this part? Of course not. But I mean, if you had ribbon, or like I said, even a thin strip of cardstock would work too. And then we'll bring this, whoops, I did it again. I want to attach this piece. So let's go, because I like, this is a simple way to add some flair to the front of your card, just adding, you know, we all have these little scrap pieces of leftover that we've cut. If you're cutting like 4 by 5 1/4 layers, you always end up with that little extra piece sometimes. And quite often, yes, I do throw them away because I have an overabundance of them, but they do come in handy sometimes. Okay, so there's that. Then let's go ahead and put this on here, just like that. Easy peasy. And let's see, what can we do? Oh, we could do hi there. Kind of like, oh, congratulations. Always here for you. Good luck. You can do anything. I think I'm going to do the hi there. I kind of like that one. And dimensionals, we're going to pop it up. Got to pop it up. Okay, there's that. I'm going to kind of put it over here a little bit to this side. And then we're going to add some blingity blings. And I forgot to grab, let's see if I have some extras here. Nope. I forgot to grab a white insert for the inside of this card, but I would put a strip of designer series paper on the inside, just like we did with the last one. And let's see, see, I did it over here. So pretend we did that part. I forgot all about grabbing the inside for this one because we had 2 white card bases, so I wasn't thinking about it. So there's that one. Beautiful, right? Aren't they easy peasy to make? Okay, and our last one, this one here, let me score this one at 4 1/4. And all the card bases are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay. And then we are going to, this one's already been cut. This will go like this, except for my length. I need to cut 5 1/4. Okay, so let's cut that. That little piece probably will not get used, but that's okay. And this one. Now, as you see on this one, we're using one of the checkered patterns versus using the all the flower patterns. I tried to do something a little bit different because I thought, let's try a different pattern. And although it's maybe not as vibrant as the others, I thought it still worked out. Okay, so I think we're gonna just slide that over just a little bit. And let's attach this. And that'll go right here. I feel like there's so many new papers coming out. Holiday papers, Halloween papers that we already have out, that you could easily make this little layout and whip up a lot of cards very quickly. Okay, there's that. Then we are going to, this time I don't need that strip because I did it a little bit different as far as the phrase on the front. But I did add, oh, I did not add it there. That's right, we added it over here. So we can add this to the front. I hesitated because I was going to add that little strip there, but I didn't on this one. I had die cut a circle. And this one here is from this set of dies, but I don't have too many left because I used a lot of them. So let's see if I can, I think I might do the Oh Happy Day. Now I could do a combination here. Let me try something. I'm going to cut this in half. So this is what you can do here with these. Cut this in half. And then you just do a little stretch, attach it to the back, and you could make it as big or as little, you know, showing as you want. I kind of do it just like that. And then I think what we're going to do, let's take this, and I'm going to take some of the baker's twine. I like to just wrap like this. Actually, no. Too many fingers because I don't need quite that much this time. Because what I'm going to do is this. And I'm going to lay that down just like that. Trim off that little tail so it's not too much sticking out. Okay. And then this is going to get popped up with dimensionals. Let's see if I have a couple bigger ones for here. I'll do those, and then I'll just put a couple little ones right there. Okay. There's that. And now we'll pop this up here. Kind of just like that. You can put it wherever you want. And then I will attach this to the front. Now you could pop this up too if you wanted, but I'm going to keep this flat. And because we had no Cajun Craze whatsoever on here, I didn't pull in the Cajun Craze bling. I pulled in the natural adhesive back sequence. I think these are still current. I was going to check this morning and I forgot all about it. But there's a nice, it's really more of a coppery color, but I feel like it works really well with early espresso type pattern. So I pulled these in for this card. And then that is it. And again, on the inside, yes, I did put some strips. Let me see if I have one laying here without digging through too much stuff. And I have such a mess here that I do not. But you would do the same thing as we did before. And you see I cut it in half, flipped it just like we did on the front. So let's go ahead and burnish that. And You see, I still have a lot of these. This set here, the More Messages, comes with a lot of words. It really does. I love this. And then this one comes with quite a few. And like I said, I've used them on some other cards. So, and we have a new, coming out in the new mini catalog, there's a holiday words one that's just like this that I'm looking forward to using too. Okay, so let's bring our cards back in. So there's one. Here was this one. And then here was this one. But aren't these just fun, easy with the paper? There's so many papers out there that we have right now that are just beautiful, gorgeous papers that you could do the same effect with. Now, if the front and back don't coordinate like you want, you can always cut other strips. You could cut a 2 1/4 inch strip, or you can make it wider or narrower. Let's say you have some 2 1/4 inch strips or 2-inch strips. You could even do it that way. But you could cut another coordinating pattern to go with it. So you don't have to keep it at what I started with. I just picked 3 inches and kind of went with it and then cut a 1/4 inch off and did it that way. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, follow, and share. I truly appreciate it. My numbers are growing out on YouTube, which I love, love, love. My goal is by the end of the year to get to 1,000 followers. And I actually didn't look this morning to see where I was. I was at 700 and something. So I'm going to keep the positive thought that yes, I am going to make it to that 1,000 followers before the end of 2025. If you have any questions about the project, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me. And I will have links below if you need them for like to follow me. If you want to keep up on all the sales, like the sales that Stampin' Up! Might do, or when I have my own little promotions going on or things like that, get on my email list. That is the best way to stay in tune with everything that's going on. And I'll have that link below. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a great Tuesday, and I will be back again on Thursday. See you guys later. Bye.